I'm really going to get back into administration and teach these guys a lesson. And then I think something happened. Someone came along at some point, and I think perhaps that deal was done. And they said, look, you won't go to jail. Trump Tower will stay standing. Your kids will be safe in America. Everything's going to be okay. But you're going to have to bend on these few things. Mm-hmm. And I think that perhaps, I mean, fatigue makes power. Napoleon said it, fatigue makes cowards of us all. And he's certainly no coward. But it's amazing how daily war can grind you down. I'm still praying for a Trump victory. I still think he's going to be the best president. I still think he's going to do his very best. I just feel like somewhere along the line, something has been agreed to.
Candace Owens and Andrew Tate believe that Donald Trump has made a deep state deal to keep him out of jail. And Tate added he doesn't blame Trump for taking this hypothetical deal. Take a look.
Something's been talked about now. It was different before. And it just kind of feels that way to me. I don't know exactly what the deal is. I'm not even going to say that I blame the guy for taking it. But some kind of agreement's been made, I feel like.
Look, our nation's brightest minds are on the case. And earlier in the conversation, Candace Owens said she felt that this wasn't even the same Trump. Take a look.
Ooh. But it doesn't feel to me like the same Trump from 2015. And obviously he's the better candidate. I want Trump to win as well. But it does seem that now that he's accepted money, that he can't be as hardcore about certain topics and certain issues as he was back in 2015 when there was no chance he was gonna win. You know, allegedly no chance he was gonna win, and also nobody would give him money and no one would give him any airtime. And now it feels like, I don't know, like they've kind of, I don't wanna say like buck broken him, but there's definitely a lot of consultants around money kind of always being the root of lies and evil.
And she also believes that Trump isn't the only one who's accepted a deal. Take a look.
I feel the same, and I'm wondering if you do as well. Elon Musk seems a little bit different too.
Oh my God, Jen, just how deep does this rabbit hole go?
I don't know, I definitely want to find out though. This is terrific news.
Meeting of the minds.
Yeah, I mean, so first of all, that means a lot of the MAGA base is super disappointed in Donald Trump. That's gonna depress voter turnout. That's great for the country. So we appreciate it. Please keep spreading those conspiracy rumors. It's wonderful. And you knew it was gonna happen because once you get into a conspiracy theory wormhole, you can't get out. And it just eventually it turns on itself, right? So Donald Trump is the master of these conspiracy theories. He started the birther one against Obama, that he wasn't born in this country. He believes every conspiracy theory, like the one he just came out with, the lunatic one where he thinks that there's no actual people at Kamala Harris's rallies, that it's all AI. Hoo-hoo. But so he built up this conspiracy theory base, and what did you think they were gonna do? Of course, one day they're gonna have a conspiracy theory about you. Of course. Donald Trump is not the same man. She's the one that had the theory that Emmanuel Macron's wife is a man, right? Out of nowhere, okay? So does that mean Donald Trump is a woman? I don't know, because it's not the real Donald Trump. Oh my God, you know what's coming next? I'm predicting it ahead of time. They're gonna say that they switched him out during the assassination attempt. Okay, watch.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
Okay, let's see.
I think you're right. You should put some bets up on that. You probably will see something. I mean, it's always switching out, like they did that with Diddy with his mugshot and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's coming. And you know who's gonna do it?
Precedent for it.
Yeah,
Who?
The new Elon Musk, whoever he is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That tracks.
You know, one of the funniest things to me about this was like, why did Candace skip over, you know, like 2020 and everything that's happened, all the L's that Trump's been taking since he won in 2015? Like, I think he's a different person than he was 9 years ago. What about 4 years ago? What about 3 years ago? I guess that doesn't count because they're having to erase reality from their minds and go back to a time when Donald Trump was untested. And most importantly, I think it's really important for people to remember that one of the biggest reasons Donald Trump won, yeah, he had, you know, his policy and stuff, and he was electrifying, but it's because he was going against Hillary Clinton. And not only was Hillary Clinton unpopular, but she doesn't campaign well. And before she lost to Trump, she lost to a black man who nobody had ever heard of before. And that's a big deal because it was in 2008. It's not today. You know, Barack Obama was a young man. He came out of nowhere and she lost to him. And then she lost to Donald Trump. So there's only so much credit you really can give to him for taking that victory. One of the most iconic photos, I can't find it, but I remember when he won, he was looking up at the screens like he was like, oh, I won. Like, he's never wanted this job. He's not interested in doing this, and he's acting like he's not now. Lastly, speaking of ridiculous things, the AI, at his presser the other day, y'all probably covered it, where he said, nobody even knows who Kamala Harris is. You could ask somebody on the street, they don't even know her last name. Like, dude, what? But, this is MAGA.
Yeah, and by the way, afterwards, he said, Harris. Like, he wanted to brag that he knew her last name. She's been the vice president for like 4 years. We know her last name.
Another test passed. He's
Yeah.
so
And then if nobody knows who she is, then why are you losing to her? So how did that help your case at all? It's but
yeah.
And I think y'all about to get to it with him saying, I don't have data for this. But
Oh yeah, I love the data. Do we have the data clip?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, then I'll just say it.
Yeah.
I watched the beginning of this interview, and I couldn't stop laughing. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. So this is like at some point in the middle of the interview that they get into how the deep state has switched out Trump or whatever insane thing that they think, right? And by the way, I'd like to know why they think the deep state and Trump have a deal. Like, what are they like? Which Trump policy are they upset about? I don't know. But I think they noticed that he's taking campaign contributions. Really? That is some good detective work on you guys' part. But that explains the beginning of the video, because Candace Owens said, this is like one of the greatest clips I've ever seen. I've watched it over and over again. And then they showed a clip of Andrew Tate railing against data. And he's like, nobody believes in data. Data's for stupid people. Really intelligent people like me don't need data. And I was like, yeah, you sound super smart. And he's like, everybody knows that all data is fake. How would you know that if all data is fake? How would you prove it? Okay, he's such a simpleton, like such a small mind, right? So he found out that like, oh, sometimes a cigarette company might pay for research telling you that cigarettes are good for your health, or that perhaps an oil company might do research that shows, oh, climate change is no big deal, like the ones you guys quote all the time to this day. Anyway, and he's like, so that, he didn't mention those, but those are common examples, right? Where the data is manipulated. He talked about like, if a drug company does data, then data isn't real. Yeah, but brother, there's a lot of data in the world. So you don't have to take the ones from a corporation. And in fact, and he's like, this education's stupid. You don't learn anything. No, you learn that you should analyze data, that there are different kinds of data, and you should look at the source and the methodology. I'm sorry, that was so stupid. Instead, you should just listen to him go, you don't need data, you're me. And he kept saying it like, oh, because I got street smarts. Somebody tells me on a quarter, yeah, I'm gonna give you a burger. I don't take it. That's street smarts. Wow, I didn't know you rolled genius. Okay, never mind. I guess we don't need data.
Because street smarts it implies that you don't care about reality, because people in the streets don't care about reality. He's just an idiot, and it's amazing that he's still around. But we shouldn't trust data, but we should not only trust Andrew Tate, but he doesn't live here, so he doesn't even really have that much of a stake in what's going on right now. And he has much bigger problems to worry about. Romania's still, working things out. But the biggest thing to me, I forgot to mention this before. What's different about Trump's policies now compared to 2015? I don't know. I mean, in a lot of ways, they're more extreme. He's talking about the biggest mass deportation anyone's ever seen. On his website, he is talking about deporting American citizens for supporting Palestinian lives. What's less extreme about it? I don't know. What are you talking about, Candace?
Yeah, actually, but you might be onto something there. Candace Owens in particular might have caught feelings about his Israel policies, because yeah, because she's against Israel, no problem. She goes way further than that, right? But Donald Trump is kissing Miriam Adelson's ass in public, saying, "I will serve Israel and Israel only." and if you dare criticize Israel, I'll arrest you and deport you. And well, mission accomplished already for Tate, but Candace Owens maybe doesn't want to get deported, so that might be what's aggrieving her. But look, again, if you think he's bad because he took campaign contributions from the Adelsons and then is doing what they wanted, how about when he says to the oil companies, "Give me money, I will do whatever you command of me"? How about every single industry that he goes and says, "Give me money and I will do whatever you tell me to do because I'm your dog servant"? And he's been like that the entire time. You just didn't want to see it earlier.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.